What non-addicts may not understand is that addicted individuals feel a complete urgency to engage in their addiction. It is overbearing in their mind to the point it feels unbearable. They feel that they must give in to gain relief. To some, it feels like getting torn apart from what they ought to do and what urges are telling them to do. Unhealthy urges go against what we know is best for us. This is because of the two-part brain. The emotional limbic system brain wants us to give in, pushes us to give in, whereas the rational frontal cortex part of the brain says, remember what happened last time you did this. Some put up a good fight, some fight back. But when they feel their thoughts increasingly getting stronger to use, when they feel the thought to use is taking control of their mind, they tell themselves, no, I am not going to give in. They try their very hardest not to give in, or they try their very hardest to suppress this thought, that they realize if they give in, it can lead them to an area they've been before, one with negative consequences. Or another way to react to these thoughts and impulses is to not try to fight it, but try to avoid it. They tell themselves, okay, I am just going to not pay attention to what is going on in my head and try to focus on my work. What happens then? These two popular ways of reacting to thoughts to use are not effective. Carl Jung, Swiss psychologist, knew this a long time ago. He stated, what you resist not only persists, but grows in size. If you focus so hard on not thinking of an elephant, for example, you will think of one. The secret is that it is strategy, not brute force, that eliminates and relieves intrusive thoughts and urges and impulses. Overcoming addiction to some is like pushing a boulder up a hill. The more you push, the more friction or pushback you experience. As you push and push, the harder it becomes, the more tired you become, the more exhausting it becomes, and to some, success seems near impossible. There is a reason for this. There are lots of research that shows that thought suppression and avoidance actually feeds what we wish to suppress and avoid. A study published in Behavioral Research and Therapy titled A Further Experimental Investigation of Thought Suppression actually revealed that resisting and suppressing and even fighting our tendencies actually has a rebound effect, which makes them stronger. When you examine the brain, this makes a lot of sense. Fighting these thoughts and urges is too difficult because you are fighting a very strong part of the brain, the limbic system, which is instinctive and prompts us to engage in survival needs or survival behaviors. This part, right here, is part of the limbic system. All this colorful part you see is the limbic system, which is deep inside the brain. This is very thick and dense material, meaning a lot more signal transmission is going on, which also means, that's right, harder to control. When you compare the dense limbic system to the neocortex, or the soft spongy top of the brain, over here, you can see a huge difference in density. Your addiction resides within the limbic system, the survival part of the brain, and when you have an urge, it is telling you that you have to have your addiction right now, because it thinks it is a threat to survival, and it sure feels like it sometimes, doesn't it? That explains why urges, thoughts, and impulses get so strong, and you experience strong seductive pulls for your addiction. But it is not true though. This is the great deception of the brain.